Monday. Good morning to you once more, Lagos. I do love saying that, I have to be honest. Right now it's time for Entertainment Gist inside of the Grapevine, running a little bit behind schedule, but we are always on time. In the studio with me this morning, I've got the fantastic James Silas. Yeah! Always exciting to have you here, James. How's it going?
Same here, very well. Beautiful.
How's the traffic treating you right now this Christmas period?
I try to wake up, earlier than usual to beat the traffic.
But it's everywhere. Nighttime, morning time, evening
the hardest part is they are fixing the road at peak periods.
It's tough. It's
That's
tough.
all right.
But we'll get through it. Anything exciting happening in your life at the moment?
James Silas, follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter.
Yes, Instagram is exciting. It is. There you go. There you go. Okay, so in typical Grapevine tradition, we got brand new music to share with you. So we're going to do that. Please join us in conversation. Send in your messages to us. And I know, based on the gist we have today, there are a lot of messages you're going to need to send to us. Use the hashtag Grapevine981 as you tweet at Smooth981FM. That is the hashtag to use, Grapevine981. But also feel free to send us messages to our WhatsApp number. Now that number is 0809 4440981. And without further ado, let's delve into our Christmas songs, because people are sending us Christmas songs and we love it. Last week Tuesday we did speak about a Christmas song, which I'm going to come back to address after we go into our first one for this morning. It is by Alpha. We had Alpha up here in August, I think, or June. Mid-year we did have him here. He does have an album out. I think he's a fire MC. So when he sent me this 12th day a Christmas special by Alpha, I was like, okay, I want to listen to it. And Lagos, I think you should listen to it too. Here it is, Alpha with 12th Day, the Christmas special.
My neighbor's Christmas tree is popping early morning, kids and stockings. Santa Claus is coming down. Santa Claus is coming down. Chop the turkey, chop the stuffing. Early morning, chop your stocking. Santa Claus
Day. And can I just say again, this young man is a fire MC. I don't think there's anything else to say about this, but this young man is a fire MC. James, what did you think when you heard this song?
Beautiful. It sounded, I just saw myself in all of the stories, all of the, he made it as simple as possible. And of course, Alpha is also a producer.
And he's a producer, yes, he produces his own tracks.
I feel like he spent time just made the song, owned it, and told the story like he really wanted to, and it sank. I love it.
It's gorgeous. I don't know what I expected. It definitely wasn't this, but it far outstripped my expectations.
Yeah,
it really
the
did.
pigeon. He just made it very simple. You just will
the
understand
pigeon, the story, the music, the introduction, every little aspect of this. So Alpha, you killed this one. This is definitely one of my Christmas playlists, I have to say. It's definitely on my playlist. I can't even front. And I'm so excited to see where he grows as a musician, as an artist. And I hope that we keep remembering that at Smooth, we do really try to promote good music. And I hope the audience out there as well supports our great artists, because, man, talent is plenty in Nigeria. It's plenty. Speaking of talent, here's a young lady that has been absolutely smashing it this year. Teni, the entertainer, is back, and with a Christmas song too. And are you expecting anything less than the perfection that she continuously and consistently delivers? I don't think so. This one is called Christmas Is Here. Both these Christmas songs have me in such a happy mood, and I feel so inspired, honestly, by these guys. Teni, the entertainer, is who you're listening to, and the song is called Christmas Is Here. James.
Teni.
I mean.
This song is just 2 minutes or so or less. Teni is my female version of Wande Cole.
Yes. Wow, that's powerful.
Yes,
that's
my female version of Wande Cole.
Okay.
They make music sound so ordinary, so simple. They make you feel like you can sing as well. This song is so beautiful. I don't know. It's
It's magical.
in my soul.
It feels like magic.
You know,
it feels like magic.
I kept on. It just keeps playing. It keeps. Oh man, girl, beautiful music. Teni will go places.
And listen, she best, and I have to say her stage presence is awesome as well. She was at the Future Awards, and she was one of the only entertainers other than Timaya, who, I mean, come on, it's Timaya, we know, who just knew straight away to get into the audience and to just interact, and her energy is contagious. It's infectious. It's a beautiful thing. So there you go, those two Christmas songs. Although we have somebody in here who is not a fan of Alpha's Christmas songs. Zook from Yaba says, and Christmas songs meant to be calm, magical, and mellow. Because please, this Alpha song doesn't work for me. Sorry, I won't listen.
Zook, calm down. It doesn't have to be.
Who says the Christmas songs have to be mellow? It doesn't have to be.
Man.
For some people, Christmas is a tough time. And were you listening to the story? Did you hear what he was talking about? Listen, give something this Christmas, okay? Don't be a Grinch.
Why so serious?
Don't be a Grinch. Speaking of giving now, guys, also close to your radio. Let's talk. There's intense gist out in the atmosphere. Genevieve Nnaji is accusing FilmOne of refusing to distribute her film Lionheart. What? Oh, let me tell you what's going on. So, on the 16th of December, on Sunday, she announced December 21st as the release date for Lionheart. But then just a couple days to screening date, she cried foul and is blaming FilmOne. Now, the reason is, and she writes this really, really lengthy statement on this issue, saying, you know, Lionheart's been a big achievement for her as a filmmaker. It's surpassed her wildest dreams. Getting acquired by Netflix, you know, it's surreal. But unfortunately, not everyone is sharing the enthusiasm, okay? She said she was sad to discover that the very people, she says, who pose as Nollywood supporters and promoters of content are the very same people frustrating the efforts of filmmakers. She then goes ahead to mention FilmOne, saying that they outright refused to distribute her film because primarily they have no stake in it. This is Genevieve's allegation. She also says that they had agreed with Silverbird to exclusively exhibit Lionheart, but then because they were arm twisted by FilmOne, that they reneged on the agreement. And she says it's like 2004 all over again when we were all banned from the industry, except this is not 2004, this is 2018. She then goes on to accuse the distributors of faking the false imagery of making box office hits because they're involved in it, because they manipulate the numbers, they direct foot traffic because people have no choice but to see what films that they put in there. But industry sources then revealed to news agencies that, listen, FilmOne refused to distribute the movie because the request came in 3 months later than the stipulated and regulated time. They're saying that, listen, you had this deal with Netflix for a while, and you had the opportunity to come and meet us, but you only showed up in December. So this is not a personal attack. This is not what's going on. There are already films that have been slated to show, and how would it look if we then bump all these films just for Lionheart? That the Lionheart team did not do what they were supposed to do at the time they were supposed to do it. FilmOne have not spoken out officially on this, so I'm just giving you as balanced a review as I can of what's been going on. But it is very interesting. There are other filmmakers that have accused the distributors of bias because overseas, typically the distributors do not have stakes in the movies because it will affect the way that they put things in their cinema chains. But James, I'm curious, what did you think when you read all of this? And it's a very bold statement coming out from Genevieve.
Absolutely. For me, first of all, this is business, all right? Before we start pointing out, start looking at who's at fault, why did it happen at all, I think we should look at it from a holistic perspective. The industry, the country generally, we need more viewing centers. We need more, what's it called, where people can actually, more screening centers, for these things, yeah. But back to this particular story, it sounds balanced if the people that are saying, remember the first time we actually heard about this movie, when we even saw the trailer,
yes,
I would have expected that those arrangements should have been made a lot earlier.
At the time.
You understand? Look at,
because we were wondering when it's going to be in cinema.
I didn't have a clue until now. Okay, this is a movie that has been, we heard, that was announced, it went public, that has been acquired by Netflix.
And it is going to be available for us on the 4th of January on Netflix, so we will be able to watch it.
But check this out. We're not sure if you can watch it in Nigeria then.
No, she says that's what she said in her statement.
Hopefully.
She said, please, I don't own a cinema chain of my own, so my hands are tied, but Lionheart will be waiting for you starting January 4th on Netflix. I hope you're as proud of it as I am.
Hopefully, because there are some movies that has been announced they're supposed to be in Netflix, but when you come here, when it comes to our own region, you don't get to see it, but it's actually showing in other places. So
somehow,
we don't know.
So
so still on it. If this thing is going to show in January here,
yes,
and today's date is the 20th, and by from the story it was supposed to start showing from tomorrow 21st.
Yeah.
So how many days do we have to that thought where it will actually be available for people to watch as many times as they want?
And as you said, understanding that we have a limited number of screening halls per cinema.
I mean, this weekend, we just saw, what's it called? Chief Daddy or so.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Out,
and we have a couple of other movies. Yes, and we have the international ones that are still coming out this December. It will be packed.
Yes.
I want to believe that FilmOne have a right to what movies they will accept at a particular point in time. But if there's a rule or if there's supposed to be a way, a format for you to, a timeline for you to submit your movie, then there's a timeline. You can't say, maybe Silverbird would have been able to say, okay, let's, but there are rules to this thing.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to believe that FilmOne had an influence in Silverbird's decision.
But here's the other thing as well. She says this is not the first time it's been done to her. She says this is the second time, by the way. Now, she doesn't give us details of what that first time was or, again, what the circumstances are. And I really hope that the distributors do make an official statement on this so that we can talk about it properly. Because there is a question mark as to when distributors are heavily involved in filmmaking.
Yes.
Because it is almost undoubted that you will do your best to protect your interests. And even in the story where it mentions, the contemporaries of Genevieve, the people they mention, they have stakes in their films. So it's hard to divorce the two and say that there isn't something to look at there.
Which is why I said it's business at the end of the day. For real, if I have a stake in something and I'm running this part of the business or this industry, I'll have a power. I mean, you can call it monopolizing the whole thing, but it's just what it is. I'm sorry, it's business. You have to be, tell the truth. Yeah. So, but for Genevieve, there's also a tone of I'm not going to say a tone of arrogance, but there has to be a way to communicate these things. Okay, now let's take it away from her, because I do know of a film that is only now making it into cinemas, and she'd actually been rejected, Kasala. And Kasala then went global, and she took it to these global festivals, and because it gained so much popularity, it then finally gained a place in the cinema. And that was one filmmaker, Imaidoso, that had also complained that they don't want to accept her film. They don't want to accept it. And I wonder what the criteria is we don't
accepting the film.
Yes,
and that's what I'm saying, in the interest of transparency.
Yes.
And for whoever's out there listening, we're friends of everybody. We're just curious from the distributor's end, because we're getting more and more filmmakers that are saying, well, we're creating products or we're creating content and we come to you. But first of all, the deal that's cut tends to be quite harsh in terms of the filmmakers and what they're able to make. So is that true support? I understand it's capitalism. But let the distributors speak out a little bit more on this issue.
Which is why I'm still of the opinion that maybe the government should come back. I mean, at a point during the last body. They said maybe they probably have that one already. They said there was some sort of a course where they had grants, where they had access to grants and everything. Perhaps you can take another step further and give us more screening centers, because when you have a lot more screening centers, nobody will have that power of monopoly.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much for that. So film business is becoming big business and is causing big problems. Speaking of film business, Chief Daddy is in the news as well. Over the weekend, they premiered it, and apparently it's gotten off to a good start, selling over, apparently, 40 million naira worth of movie tickets in the first 3 days of regional release. There you go. So this makes the 5th consecutive #1 feature from Ebony Life Films, following 50, The Wedding Party 2, and The Royal Hibiscus. Okay.
They're doing very well. No doubt. You have to to them.
Again, numbers. I would just go back and point out what other people have pointed out. I'm curious as to the numbers and veracity of the numbers. But congratulations to them. Very exciting stuff, and people have been talking about it. So very cool things. Yeah. Now, something else people are talking about. This went viral the other day, but we are a little bit over time. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will continue this conversation. You are listening to the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. We are your love music, love life station.
A blend of only the best, silky, smooth music on your radio. Oh yeah, Smooth 98.1.
Have you ever been on the queue at a supermarket or a restaurant?
I need to report myself.
Finally, it's your turn, and all the things you picked have been scanned. You bring out your card to pay, and whoop, the cashier says declined. At this point, you freeze. The person behind you would have most probably have started putting their things on the counter.
Yeah.
And all the eyes on the
just going to
queue
play
are on
together
you.
now. It just
Everybody
carried
is
me.
frustrated and tired of the queues.
Oops.
And in that moment,
Yeah.
you are the one to blame.
Genevieve just carried
You know
me.
the feeling. Your belly doesn't flip-flop as it
Do you ever
walks
have
into
those
your heart.
situations where
Finally, you
a
find
message
your
shows
voice
up on your
and say
phone,
to the
there's
cashier,
a name and
"Please,
surname
try
matter of
again."
fact,
Or
but
begin
you
to
can't remember
search
So
who.
don't know
wallet
who it is.
if you have
Yeah.
cash.
And me, I always make a point of saving name and surname, so I will know. I was like, no, I need to know.
Never be
Then
Yeah,
I'll
that's
be
why
looking.
I'm like,
It reminds you
well,
of
are they
all
male
the
or
things
female?
that could have gone well that day,
Yeah.
and just how
Yeah.
Yeah.
frustrating
Sometimes the
life is.
description says.
It's the
No, no, no.
proverbial last straw. Imagine though that
Very sad.
in that
The
moment,
top one.
what you had was a birth card, and as you handed it over to the cashier, the payment went through. You would have walked out in an instant with a smile on your face and a sense of satisfaction that no matter what happened today, a
Whoosh,
screaming
no, I've
boss,
heard these allegations before. That's why I'm like, the distributors need to officially speak out on these things.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
problematic.
able to
And I
It
know
is.
for Iba Doso
exactly
Hakasala, she's
what you
put
want.
together, I did everything she should
That
make
is
it.
why you should
They
ask
just
your bank
refused. They're
for
like,
a
no,
birth card today,
it's not.
because you
It's
deserve
not fair.
something
They're not going to
that
show it.
works.
Then
all
after
the
she
time.
started gaining all
Visit
this recognition.
www.myverveworld.com. That
Well
is
done.
www.myverveworld.com to discover the
But I
reliable
think
awesomeness
it's fine. It's
that
capitalism.
birth
If you
card
own
It
what
is,
you
that's
own,
what
you
it
own
is,
what
yes,
you
you
own.
own
I
it.
think the problem is the pretense of who we support.
I mean, look at, we had Silver Bird, Galleria, they were
It was just
doing
them.
very well for a bit,
It
but
was just
now,
them for a long time.
have you been to that place? When was the last time you
I
went
don't
to
go
the
there to watch me.
Oh
It's
my
scary.
God.
It's scary.
Nah.
I don't know what can meet me in the dark place. So I'm not
No,
interested.
no, no. It's bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't blame someone. That's what they want to do right now. That's what it is.
I don't at all.
We have national theatre. Where is the national theatre? They have bigger problems than FilmOne.
Yeah, people should build cinemas. Even if they're independent cinemas, or we should
Do you
build
understand?
cinema
I mean,
halls.
back in the days at Satellite Tower, we had this place they called Karashi House. So we had, it was cinema. No.
Yeah.
What do we? There has to be a name to that. That we call that time. Cinema. You don't say
Cinema.
cinema. There was another one
The
at
viewing
Jiggler
hall.
back in the days.
Yeah.
Look, all the way from Satellite Tower, we go to Jiggler to watch Indian film. It was a big deal. But
We need
now,
more. Okay, we're back in
okay.
studio. Yes, indeed. And you are listening to the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. It is brought to you by Verve. In the studio with me, and my name is Folu Storms, I have got James Silas.
Yeah.
We've been talking entertainment gist, and it's been rather interesting gist. So please join us in the conversation. Use the hashtag Grapevine981 up on Twitter, or you can send us a message to our WhatsApp number, which is 0809 4440981. And a very quick recap, we had two Christmas songs we listened to this morning. One is called 12th Day. It's a Christmas special by Alpha. He's a rapper and an MC and a great producer as well, so I love that one. And also Teni the Entertainer, but she can do no wrong by me, and her new song is called Christmas Is Here. I think both excellent Christmas songs, but don't take my word for it. Go listen, let us know what you think. And speaking of letting us know what they think, Ife Ogun is sending us a message. That's Olori Africa, and she says that Teni Curious Timothy jam is lovely. It's a nice vibe. Yeah, so do day Christmas is here. It's here. And we've also got a message up on WhatsApp from Ozzy, who says, do you know what? As much as I feel for Jenny, charity, they say, begins at home. She should have firmed up an agreement here before leaping to the above.
Announcing, yes.
It's business,
Probably.
and she may have been feeling like an A-list actress here and didn't do her homework. I'm just saying, Ozzy, I understand you, girl. Me too. I just like, well, Sister Jen Jen. But let's see. Again, I think that in the interest of balance, it would be great if we heard officially from the distributors.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of important things that people are talking about, I don't know if you guys follow Banky W up on Instagram. I'm doing it a little bit more these days. And on Tuesday, a video of two men insisting that 5-year-old girls are also sexual beings went viral. Banky then put it up on his page and commented on it. Now, the topic of discussion on the particular show was rape. And the men were arguing that the way females dress, it aids the rape culture. Yes, I didn't stutter. That's what the discussion was. Now, one of the male guests argued that female children, no matter how young, should be dressed appropriately in order not to attract pedophiles. He stressed that female kids, even as young as 5 years, are sexual beings and shouldn't be dressed in what they called bum shorts, especially to the mall. The female co-host Lolo was trying to cut him short to educate him that a child can wear anything because a child is not a sexual being, and one of the male guests responded, "How is a child not a sexual being?" Wow, 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 wow. James, this is scary. This is scary. That we, as a nation, we're still justifying rape culture, the attitude of rape, by trying to blame victims, and worse, trying to blame children. A child is wearing shorts, and in your mind, they're bum shorts. I don't know. What are your thoughts, James?
You know, when this thing went viral, when you get to a point, some things will happen, and then you start questioning yourself. You start doubting yourself. My daughter is 5. I still bait for my daughter. Do you understand? Even before this age, I've always done so.
Yes.
Do you understand? And then I'm beginning to wonder after watching that thing yesterday.
Yes.
And I was wondering, for God's sake, even okay. Let's say before I come back to the one of the kids, ordinarily, one of the things that people have said about this whole rape thing is, oh, the way girls dress, they dress in. Look, if Amber Rose, one of the things that she's always campaigning about every now and then is about against rape and slut shaming.
Yes.
Yeah. You can wonder that for someone like Amber Rose, who's supposed to be a stripper, is still telling you, if there's no consent, you can't touch me. Don't touch me.
The end.
I mean, do you understand?
The
so
end.
here and then we have people who are supposed to be educated, who are supposed to be
a certain level of knowledge.
Do you understand? And then they are sitting there and saying that a 5 to 7 year old girl can be that the way they should not wear bum shorts. No. So I don't know if this is what the society has come to be. This what or is it just that I've been living in the dark or I don't know, in the stone age.
This
I mean, maybe I need to be educated myself.
Because I
don't
feel,
know.
Unfortunately, that this is an attitude that is pervasive in our society.
So it's the mindset.
Yes.
These people, I don't know how.
Unfortunately, but this is in a way what our society has created, because these men just happen to be on television discussing this. These are things that we have heard on the street. I, as a woman, I've heard things like this on the street. I've come across people. Let's not forget that we're talking about men. Women are complicit in this as well. Don't forget that just a few weeks ago, we also had another woman saying, she can never let her husband bathe her daughter. That the way these things are going around these days. I thought, what? This is where your mind is.
You know,
we've got to protect our children. We've got to re-educate ourselves, and we need to say when something is wrong and when something is terrible. Waje, who's a mother of one as well, said, wow, my good people of Nigeria, are these men really making excuses for rape? Please explain to me how 2 grown men can come on air and show such stupidity. Something you have to understand about human beings and what they see. Really? How is a child not a sexual being? We are finished. I want to believe, or rather I believe, that we have men that are not sexually mentally problematic, because this is a pure display of madness. So it's not enough for women now, because from what I'm watching, our children now are not safe. And the reality, unfortunately, is we have increasingly higher reports of sexual attacks and assault on women. One of the victim centers says that the youngest victim they had come in is a 10-month-old baby. A baby. So this is a sad, disgusting reality that we are dealing with.
So it's even bad enough that we have those instances or those happenings already. But for people to now come in on national television, wherever wherever they did that interview, to come and say, oh no, 5-year-old children, you don't wear bum shorts. You see them wearing bum shorts in the mall, and the parents will be walking behind them, and I'm wondering, are you crazy, black?
That's a child. Didn't we used to run around naked till about 5 or 6?
So how am I supposed to pass that information to my kid and say, Zara, don't dress like that? No. We can't even have that conversation.
Control yourselves. Teach each other to be better. That's what should happen.
Simple.
We've got messages that are coming in. Cruz says the world has gone mad. Children too? ? And while we've got this one in from David, who says, come on, would you go after someone you know has an actively communicable sexual disease because they are dressed provocatively, quote unquote? Note the quote. But now children, we need our heads screwed on right. We need to stop blaming victims.
Yeah.
Yes, please stop blaming victims. Because there are people who are wrapped in hijabs that are raped. So it's nothing to do with how people are dressing. It is a problem of mentality. It is a sickness of the mind that must be addressed. Anyways, we're going to move away from that. We've got more topics to discuss. Sorry, that got a bit passionate, but it is a very serious topic. We've got more still. Let's see, entertainment news. Let's talk about Runtown, because somehow or the other, he always makes it into our story.
Yeah, he does.
At this time, dancehall star Timaya is reacting to reports that Nigerian singer Runtown was banned from entering the United States. He says, when you're big, they try to pull you down. Them too small. Runtown, shine on, bro. You see, according to the general manager of his record label, erstwhile record label, I'm not even sure, Eric Mani Entertainment, he himself and his brother had secured a US visa through the label, but his brother refused to come back, thus staying in the US on an illegally expired visa. That is what the Eric Mani label is saying. But then Runtown says, listen, all of this is fake news. It'll all be clear in due time. And below is a copy of the approval notice from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, specifically for, well, I can't really see the details, but Runtown.
Yeah, I mean, but when it comes to Runtown and Eric, you know, we'll never, let me not say never, but not at the moment, get the last of them. It's what's left is for them to finally see themselves physically and you know, deal themselves man to man. Yes.
Well, let's see if they will. I just wonder why they won't leave his name out of their mouth. But let me just let you guys know that if your relative stays longer somewhere than they're supposed to stay, you best believe that that's a rejection that's coming your way. That is very problematic. So you can't do that. It causes bigger issues. But somebody that's doing big things and not causing big issues, Dicey, he's been appointed National Youth Ambassador for Sports by the Federal Minister of Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalong, at the National Sports Festival in Abuja. So I guess congratulations to him. I wonder, does he get athletic? Do you think he does any sports? Why is he?
He's smallish. Okay. What am I going to say? I don't think he needs to look athletic just to appeal to a certain.
I guess so. Yeah. I guess so. Congratulations. Okay, good job. Up next, this fellow is narrating how Davido came to his rescue when police stopped his Taxify and began questioning them. He says David happened to be driving by and stopped and told the police officer, "Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Yeah, trips." But yeah, but I can imagine Davido can do, you know, he just put up and say, what's going on? Look, how far now? When I let that guy go, I'm gonna let that guy go. Just trips.
It's a bit worrying though, but I'm like, you don't know what the person did. You don't know why the police stopped him. You just asked, or maybe he did. To be fair, they didn't give us all the details of the story. It's quite possible that maybe David did ask.
Yes.
I said, okay, it's not that deep.
No, but I just feel like, you know, which is why I say just trips. There's a way and time of the night and stuff, you know. Police will just stop. They do that. They have that random
searches,
searches, or just stop you to say how far, what's going on, where are you coming from, you know. And then if he was just driving by and just say, people, how far now? And let that guy go. You know, just is it? I mean, it's trips.
Trips. Yeah. I'm getting you. We've got more tweets coming in. This one is in from Eddie, who says whoever sees a child as a sexual being is a pedophile. Those guys inclusive. Yikes. Says the culprits of rape have borne such heinous act inside of them before perpetrating such an act. The victim is never to be blamed. Yes. Thank you very much for that, Eddie. Up next, though, let's talk about money. Kylie Jenner has tied with Jay-Z. Yes, Kylie, 21. Jay-Z, Egbon, has tied with Jay-Z to become the fifth wealthiest American celebrity of 2018. Let's take a moment. According to Forbes, the 21-year-old's net worth is $900 million US, and it's also her first time on the list. When Kylie Cosmetics launched 2 years ago, it's already shifted $630 million in makeup products. James, what are you doing upstairs? What's your plan?
I don't know, these things, they're very demoralizing. I work hard. I swear, I work hard. So.
There are indications, apparently, that if Kylie continues at this rate, she might actually unseat Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg as the youngest ever self-made billionaire. And you know Black America is going to come for her with this self-made thing. They don't like it because they feel she had such a massive leg up in life because of her family. But they are calculating on Kylie Cosmetics. This life is set up. Their levels. That's
Kylie Kardashian.
That's all I gotta say. Moving on now, speaking of money, some people are making a lot of money, but what are you going to do with your money when you leave this earth? DJ Avicii, who died earlier on at just 28, left his entire £20 million fortune to his parents. Real name Tim Bergling, he was found dead in April in Muscat, Oman this year. But now legal documents filed in his native Sweden have revealed that he left that his entire fortune to his family. It's all being made legal, so they are set to inherit their son's wealth of £20 million sterling. Ooh, bittersweet, bittersweet there, bittersweet. Speaking of bittersweet, relationship between Kanye West and Drake, because Kanye went on Twitter to rant against Drake, accusing him of threatening his family. Mrs. West also chipped in and said, "Don't threaten my family. My husband is brilliant. He paved the way for there to be a Drake." No, Drake has not really said anything about this, and this is all because Drake mentioned Kanye's 350 shoes on French Montana's No Stylist, saying, "We fly in a 7-pack to the beach. Yeah, I keep a G. I told her I don't wear no 350s around me." And Kanye's like, "I didn't tell anybody about your son. Leave me alone."
Yes, but that's Kanye for you. Kanye wakes up and just realizes that, wait, the other day at the mall, you did not say good morning to me. Oh, but that's your this, that. Kanye is dealing with mental, so to speak. That's what the reports, have been, that he's had some mental issues that he's dealing with. Sometimes I want to feel like that's what sort of pops, and he just acts continuously every now and then. And then the interesting thing is that he goes to Twitter and just starts tweeting, and then sometimes you wonder, did somebody just hack his account?
No. Kanye hacks himself.
That's just Kanye for you. That's the kind of person that he is. Sometimes you want to think that he's doing these things for certain kind of attention, for something that's coming up, but it's just Kanye. I mean, he has done it to his best friend, former best friend.
Yes, former.
Yeah,
not that close.
Who's Drake?
More messages are coming in. Cruz says, so Papa James is already envisaging a Runtown boxing match. AJ makes mad money from fighting, so not just to show off or vent anger.
Have you seen Eric Money? Hey.
And then he also says, tie with Jay-Z. Hey, at this rate, I need to go and start selling small chops in Lagos traffic. Everybody loves small chops, Shay. I'm telling you, Cruz, don't knock it to see how you can gauge that matter. I'm telling you. Solomon says, on the rape issue, it is appalling what is going on these days. But allow me to ask, are you sure the men understood what a child being a sexual being is? Bro, go and watch the video. That's what I gotta say.
Maybe they don't. Okay.
Go and watch the video. Go and watch the video. And David says, Lol and James, I work hard. I feel you, bro. God, there is God. There is. Moduka says, crime is never justified, but let's take this a step further. A culture that excuses husbands cheating on their wives by saying men are men and will always sleep around is just a few shades away from excusing all sorts of bad behavior. People should take ownership for their actions and stop blaming others. You said it. And Big E says, now for this world, I watched the video and we need to flush our minds of corruption, of everything sexual. Yeah. How can that presenter on television say that she can't allow her husband to bathe her children? Me, I think we need to reset our mind and think towards children. Yes, she did have to apologize profusely to her husband because I don't think she really realized what she was saying when she said that. That if you could suspect your husband or something like that, then woman, there's a problem with you. You forget well. James, on that note, we're done. Just like
I know it's welcome.
Grapevine is finished.
Bye bye everybody.
I imagine that's crazy. That's okay. But how are we gonna make this 360, 638 million, 900 million?
This thing is not something you can just. This thing, I don't know. You can't just open our mouth and say we'll do it like this.
I believe in us. We can. We're going to do it like this, guys. Watch out for James and I in the future.
Yes.
It's going to be great. But in the meantime, I'm still working here at Smooth 98.1, and I'll be opening up the phone line at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock for you Lagos to get talking. Good morning.
The Grapevine on the Smooth Breakfast Show.
In the meantime, I'm still here.